Hello and welcome to Restoring Our American Republic. I'm Chuck Benoit with The Nature of Things, where we are realigning God, government, and natural law so that we might restore our American Republic. Now, I'd like to discuss my closing comment that I use after each live stream, that being, if you're unwilling to govern yourself, you will be governed by tyrants. That's a double entendre. It has two separate meanings that the exact wording could be used to articulate. The first thing is that if you are unwilling to govern your own behavior without the need for laws forcing you, then there will be laws forcing you. It's a biblical reality. The Bible says that the law was given for lawbreakers. In 1 Timothy chapter 1, verse 9, it says, knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man, but for the lawless and disobedient. And the verse goes on. The reason that it is important is because naturally speaking, the more law-abiding a nation is, the fewer laws that are needed. And scripturally, again, those laws would be more fair. The second meaning of my comment is that those laws left in the hands of unrighteous people can be used to enslave, however minimally, the citizenry. If legislation is passed making utilities more expensive for the benefit of special interests, that makes our freedoms less attainable because living expenses are less affordable. So it's vital that we take a hands-on approach to the self-government given us by our Constitution. Now, we're all very busy. I'm getting older with a little bit less energy each day to take on new things, but I know that if I back down from my efforts to affect political leadership, I have no guarantee that my freedom or the freedom of my posterity will be there. We each may have specific legislation sore spots. Right now, mine has to do with pending solar farms that will make electricity prices soar even more than they have been. But whatever your concern is, I encourage you to learn more about how you can bring those concerns to your legislators. And today we will hopefully be hearing from Ken McCard as he has taken the time to travel to Tallahassee to speak to his legislators about a bill he is very much concerned about, HB 197, regarding E-Verify. So hopefully he will show up in the next few minutes. But until then, welcome Mike Levine.
Good morning, Chuck.
Good
It's
morning.
Thursday. Great to be with you today.
And great to be with you. And we're trying something new on the live stream today, hoping to have a live spot in Tallahassee. And just on the phone a minute ago with Ken, and he said he could be on very shortly. I think this might be his first time in Tallahassee, so he's trying to familiarize himself with where he has to go, where he has to be, when, etc. But he was very, very interested in coming on with us. So hopefully that does happen here in the not too distant future,
Well,
like in the
Chuck,
next
it's
few
really,
minutes.
the first step of lobbying your legislature is getting a map of the building. Because I'll tell you, it's a lot of people until you really get the hang of it. It's very confusing on how to get around there. Even
It certainly
experienced
is.
people get lost in those hallways sometimes.
That's for sure. The hallways are difficult, but also the elevator system. It's like you put the floor you want to go to, but you have no idea what elevator. There's like a dozen of them. You have to keep looking around to find the elevator that's going to take you where you want to go. So it is very
Exactly. Well, my
confusing.
base station is always the cafeteria. Just make sure I can get back to the cafeteria.
There you go. There you go.
I
Good,
want
good.
food and coffee.
Good plan. Good
If I
plan.
have food and
So
coffee, Chuck, everything will be okay.
there you go. I get that. I get that. But yeah, so
Yeah.
today we're kind of talking, well, hopefully we'll be talking about E-Verify with Ken. If not, we'll be talking about it with each other, but also just the idea of involvement. You don't have to go to Tallahassee to affect your legislator. It is nice to have their email or their phone number or both at your disposal, and you can find that in so many different places. um, but it's very empowering from my perspective, very empowering to be able to drop a note to my legislators or to any particular legislator that might be affecting a bill that I'm interested in, to send them a note telling them that I'm in favor of this. Um, I'm sure there's some sort of a mathematical formula they use for how many people are behind one person's comments, but the more one persons that are lobbying our legislators, the more influence we have as a group. Um, and both the FRA and the RLC um, make that very easy to do. You can basically join either one of those. I don't even think it costs money to get their legislative updates, but they will tell you from a conservative standpoint what legislation is out there, where it is, what committee might be looking at it at a certain point, and who needs to be, what Republicans need to be contacted for that legislation. I just think that is amazing and very, very helpful.
I would just add to that that the Florida House and the Florida Senate both have bill tracking apps on their websites so that you can be automatically notified whenever there is a change on that particular bill. And whenever committee assignments happen, whenever the committees are meeting, you can get a a meeting packet actually online. So you can download the meeting packet so you can see what the chair of the committee, what their schedule, their agenda is for the meeting in which that bill would be heard, Chuck.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know how possible it might be that we could kind of run through that sometime and help people understand how to do that. I think our base group out there, our audience, is probably very much aware of it, but there's always, I may run into a few people that would need a little bit of help working through that and finding that legislation. I know I find it difficult to hunt things down. It takes me a little bit longer maybe than someone like yourself to find certain bills.
Well, the hardest part, Chuck, is that there's such a plethora of bills filed that it's really difficult to filter through and see what is going on legislatively with the issue that the constituent is concerned about. That's the big deal. Which of these bills is most impactful, right?
Yeah, right. And I guess that's why I think the RLC and the FRA kind of help a little bit because they're basically dealing with certain conservative, certain conservative bent that would help the average person know legislation that is more imperative to respond to. But yeah, clearly, we clearly it's an issue. It's an issue for a lot of us out here.
Well, this is why, Chuck, I recommend that we have small cadres of people in every county that just simply monitor the legislation filed by their legislative delegation. That way we don't miss anything. And keep in mind that with these grassroots organizations, a lot of them say, most of them say that until you can come up with a certain number of members for your organization in your county, let's just say, then you don't qualify to be a chapter. Well, I'm not interested in having guardrails on membership. I think the days of in-person meetings for the purpose of allowing a county chapter chairman or president to stand in front of you and lecture you are over. And I think that, when we get together, and I think it is important that we meet personally, but when we meet personally, it should be more of a celebratory thing. And the work should be going on online, similar to what you and I are doing now on a Zoom call or some kind of a video conference call. Let's get the work done. But I'm saying to you that the way to make sure that we don't miss anything is to have people in every county monitoring their own legislative delegation. And of course, Chuck, and just to close on that subject, that means that when the legislative delegation has their typical annual public presentation, then we have people that are very informed because they've been reporting on it, particularly if they'll do their own live stream like we're doing, and they've been reporting on it. Then when those legislative delegation meetings are happening in your county, our people can go speak very intelligently on the legislation that was filed by their own delegation, Chuck.
There you go. And actually, I think our own Liberty Citizens Alliance, somewhere on their website, has a list of legislation that has been uh, uh, presented by our
Sponsored.
local.
Mhm.
Uh, it looks like we got.
Yeah,
Um,
Ken. There's Ken and T. Scott.
yeah.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me get
Very
him.
cool.
Let me get him
Bring them
assigned
in.
here, and try to bring him in here. There they are, Ken
There they
McCard and T.
are.
Scott Walker. How you doing, guys?
Put them on screen, Chuck. Can you give them a full
um,
screen?
yeah. Let's do the whole screen there. There you go. All right,
Yeah,
we'll just
there
talk
you
over
go.
you guys. There you go. How you been? Okay, we got no
No mic.
volume,
We have no microphone, Ken.
no mic. Let me see what I got here. Can I do anything here? Yeah, you need to
There you go.
unmute
Ken's
yourself.
unmute yourself, Ken. You're muted in Zoom.
To our
In the
listening
bottom
audience,
left-hand corner of your screen, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, Ken, there's a mute button, an unmute. You need to just tap that unmute button.
our apologies for the little disruption here to our
Delay.
audience. So we'll be with you shortly.
Yeah.
Um,
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ken and T. Scott are lobbying up in Tallahassee, which is quite an ordeal, as we've been talking about earlier. Driving up there, it's cold up there. You can see how Ken is dressed. He's got a sweater on over his shirt and a jacket, and I'm pretty chilly up there.
Ken,
If it rains, it gets even worse
Ken,
in that far north.
I'm looking like you may be unmuted. Ken, why don't you say something? Okay, no,
Nope. Yeah.
still
Well,
no.
that's really sad because he hasn't selected his microphone. He's still muted, Chuck.
Yeah,
His
he
mute
is.
button is still on. Yeah, he's still
Yeah,
muted. So we'd love to talk with you, Ken. Ken, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yeah, he can hear me. Yeah,
yeah,
thank you. We can't hear you, Ken. You're muted.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Great shot, though. Got the boys in there.
Again, to our guests, our apologies for the technical
Okay.
difficulties. Did we just lose them?
Right. Well, again, very simple. Ken's just not a prolific Zoomer.
No, he looks like he,
He's
instead of
off.
turning his microphone on, he turned his camera off. He's still with us, just
Right.
with the camera turned
Exactly.
off.
Well, I don't know how long we want to do this, Chuck.
Yeah, right. So
I'll tell you
let's
what,
go
Chuck, let's
back.
do this. Let's take him off camera until we can see that he's unmuted, and you and I will continue. You'll be able to see when he's unmuted.
Yeah,
Right. So there you go. So, it's interesting and for anyone who has never lobbied in Tallahassee. And keep in mind, Ken and T. Scott, I believe, went up there independently on their own. But when the organizations go, they typically have a cocktail reception. They've got like for example, the Republican Liberty Caucus and the FRA both typically have a meeting room that one of the legislators set aside for them so they can go in and bring their members into a very nice meeting room and they can give their members an orientation as to what we're going to be doing here over the next day or two. And then, of course, they have speakers that come to the podium and go through the various bills that are on their legislative priorities agenda. So, on a good day, and of course, keep in mind the big deal there for the various different organizations is getting the appointments with the legislators. That's quite a bit of work in advance to be able to orchestrate meetings with the legislators. And that means you've got to, set out time blocks and things like that because the walking back and forth between the House and the Senate building and all that can be very time consuming. And, it doesn't always go the way you had hoped it would go. And, these legislators are not always available exactly when they said they would be because they have other things that maybe take precedent over meeting with your group or whatever the case. But so that's point number one. And then that means that if you're going to spend 15 minutes with a legislator and you start late, it could make you late for your next meeting. And, once that starts happening, kind of things can get out of control. So the organization of it all is very important, Chuck.
Absolutely. So if you were planning on actually visiting in Tallahassee with a group would be the best way to first start. And I think the RLC's got something going on in early January. So if anyone would be interested in doing that kind of thing, you need to get on to, I think it's RLC Lake .com or .org. I never really remember. It's all on clicking with me.
I think
It's
it's
a
a
hot
org.
button. It's a hot button, so I
Right,
get
right,
there.
right.
So
Ken, we want to talk to you, but you're still muted.
yeah, he's there. He's
Find a
working on
friend,
it.
Ken. Yeah, somebody there around you knows how to unmute that microphone. It's not hard. I can see your microphone has a little red slash through it, which means you're muted. So you've just got to, there's a little button, Ken, on the bottom of your screen on the left-hand corner that shows your camera and your microphone. And those things have to both be open in order for you to, now, Chuck, make sure you're checking on your side that you have not
I've
muted
looked.
him.
I've looked, and
Okay,
it
good.
basically keeps telling me to. Okay, they dropped off and back on. Can we hear you?
I hear you. Do you hear me?
Okay,
Oh, there
there
we
we
go.
go.
Success. That's
Ah,
fantastic.
who
There you
said Ken
go. So
couldn't
put
hear
him
me?
on,
Let's do it
There you
this
go.
way
exactly.
here.
Put him on full
That's
screen,
that's what I
put him
needed.
on full screen,
I'm
Chuck, so we
looking
can
for
see
the
him.
right
I
button
got
here.
it.
I don't know why all of a
There
sudden.
you go.
You know what?
Well,
They dropped off and
Yeah.
back on again. So I have to
There they are. They're good.
reassign them.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I got it. There you go.
Okay.
See, there you
well,
go. That's the live stream production in action. Chuck Benoit, master producer.
Yeah, so we're
Can-
good. We're
can
good
you
in
hear
tally.
us?
You're in tally. You're in
Yeah,
tally.
this is great.
can you
Perfect.
hear
Go
us?
ahead, Ken.
All
We
right.
can
Yeah,
hear
Ken, you
you
have the
now,
floor.
Ken.
We've been up here orienting ourselves to the area so we know where to go when it's time, which is at 12:30. We go to the actually before that to the committee room so we can get the resolutions passed out to the staff who will then get them to the members. It may not be, there's three items they're going to consider, and I think we're going to be the third one. So it's going to be sometime later after 1:30, I think, before they possibly get to us. We went to, go ahead.
I was going to say, we did deliver the resolution paperwork to
Blazing Golia,
Lieutenant
Jay,
Lieutenant Governor Jay
Collins.
Collins and Blaze and Golia's office.
and the Blazing Golia people are very, very nice. In fact, he's in a meeting right now. We let them know that they'll probably want to speak to us, just trying to be positive. And the staff member did say that he's in a meeting, but that he took our phone number and would call us if we can get up to see him here before. We
I have a
understand Blazing
question.
Golia from what yes,
I'm wondering,
I'm listening.
Blazing Goalie is the CFO, so he's not voting on this legislation. So I'm asking, why are you interested in talking with CFO and Golia?
I have an idea, Mike, that these guys get together once in a while in a cabinet meeting or in some kind of meetings, and they discuss these kind of things, whether it's their pathway or not. So I think
Okay, makes sense.
anybody we can get to up here to put the word in, and he has spoken positively, publicly about it. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to further reinforce that with him. And like I say, left the resolution with him. And there's been no comments that I've seen in the paper or anywhere else about what Jay Collins thinks about E-Verify. He's says he's a big supporter of what Governor DeSantis wants to do with illegal immigration, but he hasn't specifically mentioned E-Verify. So we're trying to reinforce that idea with him.
Yeah, just to specify, our mission here today is to support Bernie Jacques' motion that passed in the House to e-verify for all, not to sugarcoat it and do 25 or 10 or whatever, just e-verify for all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
we have
the
the bill
audience,
sitting on our desk right here. Chuck and I have the bill sitting on our desk right now. So we've read the bill, and the nice thing about it is that it's a very short, concise bill, and it's got it only has 2 committee assignments, so that's a pretty good sign. Either you get, if you get 0 committee assignments, that's not good, and if you get too many committee assignments, that's not good either. So I'm guessing,
Right.
based on my instincts, I think this has a pretty good shot of passing. What do you think, T. Scott?
Well, I think we get the support. That's why we went to Angolia's office and Jay Collins' office, because they were both speaking out in their promotion of themselves that they were for adhering to the legitimate law of all e-verify. E-verify, in other words, verifying our illegal workers and getting them turned around into a program that can, they can work in this country under a program. Well, of course, we know I heard today on the radio how they're talking about on the way up here that we in the country, the administration has offered free plane fare and $1,000 for illegals to self-deport and then have the opportunity to come back and reapply for citizenship or work permits. So I think that's
I love
very
that.
fair.
if based upon last year's experience, the last session experience, I think things are going well with the House because, as you know, they had an 88 to 25 vote in favor of Jacques' proposal or his bill. And they got to the Senate and they let it die. Didn't even go to a committee. It was supposed to go to the Rules Committee. I'm not if it's sure it was assigned to them and they didn't take it up, or it got to them and they never took it up. So I think we'll probably end up having our technology right for a later visit up here when it comes time for it to go to the Senate, once we find out what committee they're going to assign it to. And my read on this kind of thing is that the leader of the Senate will assign it to where he feels it's maybe best, or where he feels that it suits his position on the issue. I'm sure he's got 2 or 3 different committees he could send it to, and he'll send it probably where he feels it's, like I say, most advantageous to his position.
Now, Ken, I might add, the reason we are here is because our own REC chair would not commit for our REC of Lake County to support e-verify for all. Now, because we did not get commitment out of him, we are here on our own behalf as members of REC. We're not saying we represent the REC of Lake County, but we are as members of the Lake County REC because we're concerned citizens about this issue.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
sure how
great.
far you want us to get into the machinations of our board and so forth, but this is really it's a good thing to do, but it's a hoop that we should not have to go through to get it before our membership. But this is one of the couple of recommendations they made that we speak to some legislators before they will consider it again. They didn't consider it last time, they said, because it didn't mention Jacques' bill in there. It didn't have to. And number 2, one of the board members said that since I did not know about Jacques' bill, that would be grounds for, this thing not going forward. Well, this person didn't recognize that I had spoken, I won't say eloquently, but I did speak about Jacques' bill prior to this person's input, talking about the 88 to 25 vote, and that he was introducing it again. But this person made it sound like because it didn't have his House bill number in the resolution that that it couldn't go forward. Well, if they could have corrected that right there in the board meeting. They could have made those corrections if they wanted to. I would have accepted them. But they didn't. They making us go through some hoops, and we're going through as many hoops as we can to go back to them again. I've informed the board that we're ready to go before their board meeting, that whatever board meeting they have before the next general meeting.
In fact, didn't the board encourage you to go to Tallahassee on your own? Isn't that what they told you?
Well, I was told that somebody on the board, our chairman, would assist in finding representatives and legislators for us to speak to. We didn't need that. We did it on our own, and that's why we're here.
All right. Well, that's great. I'm going to just give you guys accolades. You're doing a great job, Ken. I think you've laid out your case very succinctly and very
Well,
professionally, and you've got a great partner there in T. Scott. He's a great guy. Are you guys there, just the two of you, or are there others with you?
yeah, it's just us. He's taking care of the personality aspects of it, and I'm into the data. If I had his hair and his good looks,
love it.
I'd have gone
You
places.
guys are a great team. You guys are a great team. I really applaud you for going. It's a big deal. So you there up for just? Are you guys coming home today, or are you staying over?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming back today.
Yes. What does
We're
that
gonna
mean? Are you
find out
coming home
probably-
today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing,
You're
and
coming
Mike,
home
you
today.
probably will you'll have a better answer on this than what we have right now, is that we won't know until it's passed this committee if it's going to be assigned to and what committee it's going to be assigned to in the Senate. So I predict that we'll be back up here again, and we're going to tell them that if it's on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, we can have Chuck Benoit and Mike Levine with us. If it's on Tuesday or
That'd be great.
Thursday, they're on TV.
Right.
Of course,
Well, just so
Mike,
you know,
you know how
I've
to
got the bill
navigate
up on my
these
computer here, gentlemen. I've got the bill up here on my computer, and this is assigned to the Commerce Committee and to the Industries and Professional Activities Subcommittee. So those are the committee assignments so far.
It's already passed the second one you mentioned.
Yeah, it
Okay,
passed.
so it's past the
Commerce
Industries and
Committee.
Professional. Okay, yeah. Okay, great. So now you're in front of Commerce. So if it passes through Commerce, it'll go to the floor for a vote, and with a super majority Republican, I would imagine that it will pass, which would be great. I mean, that's a major step. You guys, again, a lot of times recently in the last week or so, I've had cause to think back to January when we had to analyze the Trump Act versus Secure Florida. And of course, your passion for E-Verify it seems to me, supportive of Governor DeSantis's intention that he had when he rolled out Secure Florida, which we unanimously passed with a straw poll at the Liberty Citizens Alliance meeting. And of course, we were reprimanded for having a straw poll on on legislative issues by the king at the Republican Party of Florida. So there you go. Chuck, why don't you jump in?
Yeah, well, I just let me see here if I can come up with a little bit better. Let's just keep it here for a second. We're right down to the last couple of minutes of our live stream. So, Ken, I don't know if you or T. Scott would like to make a final remark, and then Mike and I will close our program out.
Well, one part of this we didn't cover yet is what's in the resolution, and it does have quite a footprint for Governor DeSantis. And I think that was one of the issues that the board didn't seem to appreciate. And I've reduced his footprint to give a nod to what they're asking for. But I was quite struck by how the legislature treated him back in January, taking away the illegal immigration portfolio, basically, from him and trying to give it to Winston Simpson, I'm sorry.
Wilton Simpson.
Yeah. So
Secretary of
I
Agriculture.
just saw that as a blatant political move, trying to put support behind him for governor. And I've got no problem with him. It's just that they're treating Governor DeSantis, who's done such a good job for us, without the proper respect he's due. And that's why I have really mentioned him in there, and that he should have a big say-so on whatever is done with the illegal immigration, as opposed to what this commission might do to his authority. I believe he is one of 5 people on the committee, on this commission they formed, and he should have more power than just, it got to be that way as a political move, seeing Governor DeSantis as a lame duck and not allowing him to continue doing what he has been doing.
Well, real quickly and comment, we're going to try to do our best to implement support for the bill, E-Verify, verifying all workers in the state of Florida. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay, guys. Well, I just want you to know that I've got a roofing project going on. So let's not get this passed before my roofing project is done. Okay.
There you go. That's
There you go, there you
special
go.
interest.
Oh yeah.
Another
So
special
July is
interest.
fine. Just don't have the implementation date, before the end of the year, okay?
Just keep us posted. Keep us posted.
I'm teasing you,
All
of
right,
course.
guys,
That
good
was a
stuff. Yeah,
joke, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right.
Any
Bye-bye.
final remarks, Mr. Levine?
I just want to give these guys a ton of credit. I love these patriots who are up there working hard, investing their own resources for the things that are great for this state and great for this nation. These are two great individuals who work hard day in and day out for the well-being of this state, and I congratulate them, and I'm grateful to them for the work that they do. Thank you, gentlemen.
Super.
Thank you.
Hopefully, guys, you can hold on for just a second. Let me just close
Sure.
out our broadcast here. I want to thank you all for joining us with our twice weekly live stream. Please follow us on Facebook at Restoring Our American Republic, or check us out on YouTube at Restoring Our American Republic -ROAR. Please like and share the program. And remember, if you are unwilling to govern yourself, you will be governed by tyrants. So until next time, God bless you, God bless President Donald J. Trump, and God bless America.